It's been a while since we last encountered with the media. We are here today, first to talk as Nairobians, because that's what we are, and what we see and would like to see our city for a journey that we started working together. As you know, just slightly over 3 weeks ago, we had Jubilee nominations, which were actually a sham. I wrote on the same day that we had rejected the process for many reasons that most of you have gathered: circular voting, non-voters voting, stuffing of the ballot, and we believe that the election was actually stolen. Our protest of the same was never responded to and has never been responded to up to today. But I want to thank the over 60,000 genuine voters who turned out to vote for me and who believed that I could bring the change that is so needed and required in our great city of Nairobi. I'll continue to seek their support as we move to the next level. I also want to say, despite the sham elections, which actually showed an unprecedented appeals in Nairobi, out of a possible 105 seats that were contested, there were 93 appeals in 93 of those seats, which in itself is an indication of how badly the elections were organized or how well rigged the elections were. But despite all that, I've stayed behind the scenes to watch the events, to know what really happened, and to get views of many Nairobians, because many of those who participated really saw what transpired on that day, including, as I said, circular voting. Despite all that, and despite the fact that I have quit Jubilee Party to be an independent candidate in the 8th of August elections for Nairobi governorship position, I will continue to offer my support to the president. We all know that there are many reasons why one would want to see changes in Nairobi. We have a situation of 4 years of Governor Kidero Odhiambo, which have failed us. And despite being allocated over 100 billion in the last 4 years, hardly very few Nairobians can show what he has done for it. He completely abdicated his duties to his junior officers, and he's been a total failure to many of the Nairobians. In the same vein, the Nairobi senator should have been the oversight boss in Nairobi. He too failed in his duties to oversight Governor Kidero. And as a result, we've had continuous fail of services that are so much required by the people of Nairobi. Nairobi needs a CEO who will not only manage, but will be able to implement. Nairobi needs a CEO who will mix both politics and managerial capacity. Nairobi needs a CEO who has showed not just capacity, but capability of managing it well. Nairobi needs a CEO in the place of a governor who will have the information of Nairobi on his fingertips and will not wait to be prepped anytime he is asked about Nairobi. Nairobi needs a governor who does not need to be propped up. It requires a governor who is willing to work for Nairobi. You cannot differentiate by saying that you'll play the political role and you leave the managerial vision to somebody else. The governor of Nairobi must be the father of the vision that will deliver Nairobi to great heights of greater cities around us and of the world. Nairobi is a very important hub. Nairobi controls 60% of the GDP, which means everything that happens in Nairobi finds its way to our other counties. And therefore, Nairobi requires a governor who will not only be able to handle the 60% economic growth of the GDP, but will be able to interact with many investors who are willing to come to the city, will be able to oversee the existing investments so that we can create employment for many of our young people who remain jobless. We must continue to reject the lies that are being peddled. Lies that we have seen in the last couple of weeks, lies that we have seen in the last 1 week, that Nairobi can survive with a governor who is a figurehead. Nairobi cannot. It's the single largest economic center of our country. It requires a good manager. And I've said many times that Governor Evans Kidero Odhiambo is a manager who has failed. And his records will prove us many years from now that he failed as governor of Nairobi. And we know of his other failings elsewhere. As for the other candidates, we are yet to see anywhere where they worked and they were able to practice their managerial capacity. I bring with me integrity and passion to work for the people of Nairobi. And I offer my candidature for the position of governorship as an independent candidate and seek the votes of the people of Nairobi. This campaign will be different. I will go to every ward. I will want to meet people in their wards. I will want to walk with them. I will want to understand the people of Nairobi. And I want to assure the people of Nairobi that if they are looking for a good manager who will work for them, I am available and I'll be seeking their votes. One of my major highlights of my manifesto, which we will release it in due course, is that I would like to devolve services from the City Hall to the constituencies. I would like to see that the services are replicated in each constituency, such that each constituency has its own fire services, health services, revenue services, garbage collection services, workers who are domained in those constituencies, so that we can enhance better delivery of services to the people of Nairobi. Now I want to tell the people of Nairobi, I will ensure that all the garbage that is in Nairobi is cleaned within the next 3 months upon election. And that will be on very short-term basis as we sort out arrangements to ensure that garbage is collected on a weekly basis. I will rehabilitate the health services in the first 12 months of my being the governor of Nairobi. I will ensure we ease off traffic by easing roundabouts with overpasses and underpasses within the first 18 months of my being governor. I will also ensure that we have light rail services within 3 years of my being governor. I will want to assure the residents of Nairobi, especially those who live in city council houses, that we will undertake the urban renewal with their minds and heart at the center of it. No one should be chased away from their current dwelling to make way for developments when they are not taken care of. And I want to assure the people of Nairobi that the campaign that we are going to mount, they'll feel us more, they'll see us more, and we know with their support, we can leave them with better choices rather than the current choice they have of electing between the bad and the ugly. So it is very important that they have better choices to elect from, and on that ground, with full of integrity and passion, I offer my candidature as an independent candidate to the people of Nairobi. Thank you. We can take 3 questions, if you don't mind, because I know time is not. Yes, Mark, then the lady.
Natural question is who will be your running mate, and as well as how you deal with cartels, which is a sticky point within City Hall.
I've said with integrity and passion that I'll bring, there will be no cartels. We'll fight those corrupt cartels. I'll fight corruption. I've never been involved. I will fight it. I have full mind of fighting corruption, and I will fight it. The running mate issue, I will call you next week. I will unveil the running mate by the end of next week. We've had a number of them. We've narrowed down to about 3 or 4. We are involving some elders in trying to find out who will be best suited as a running mate. But we'll be unveiling a very interesting and a person who will bring vigor, energy into the campaign. Thank you.
But you have indicated that you're supporting the re-election of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Already we have seen our Deputy President William Ruto campaigning for Mike Sonko. Despite the fact that you say that you support the re-election of the president, the same individuals may be campaigning for your competitors. Do you feel disenfranchised?
I have no problem them campaigning for my competitors. I bring to the table a credible, sincere, and honest candidature. And it will be in the best interest of Nairobians to decide who amongst the candidates that are there will best serve their interest by fighting those cartels, by being sincere, and by delivering the services to them. Remember, I grew up in this city when services were working. So I also know that it's possible and it's doable. Yes, please.
Well, I'm Yusuf from KTN. Initially, reports indicate that you had blamed certain senior individuals within Jubilee Party for your loss. Can you put the name to those places?
I think that is now water under the bridge. And it's water under the bridge because everybody knows that the elections were a sham. And the number of appeals and the number of appeasement that are still being negotiated up to now to appease those who won and whose certificates were genuinely stolen from them is a clear indication that there was massive rigging. Of course, we know there are people who fear the stature and candidature of certain candidates, but that is water under the bridge. I think the important thing is what we can do for the people of Nairobi. We are all Nairobians. We certainly deserve better. And leaving Nairobians to decide being between a hard place and a rock, I do not think it's the best that we really can offer. I think we need to offer a candidature that will genuinely work and stand for the people of Nairobi. We have seen what the last 4 years have given us. It's a complete failure in running of a city. We do not want a disastrous tenure of another candidate who might not have the managerial capacity and capability. And that is the reality. So the Nairobians have to decide. We said 3. Okay, the last 3. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe to start with, don't you think maybe your entry will maybe be an advantage to the current government of Kenneth, whereby you and Sonko will share the Jubilee votes, and then they will be re-elected?
What makes you think I can't attract votes from both sides? I'm capable.
Sure.
I am capable. And I'll be campaigning in all the 85 wards, all the strongholds of the big parties. I will campaign because it's a question of educating. It's a question of discussing. It's a question of the voters feeling what you can do for them. And that's what we want to do. We will walk in this city because we want to work for it. We have the passion. We will do it. Thank you. I think when we finish with the live, we can do those who want Swahili, isn't it? Yeah? Right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.